let's check in with the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Listeners, remember you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ign.com, just like Cameron did. Hey guys, I'm a new listener, and I absolutely love the show. Every year a game series I love is concluded, and I am left with an empty hole in my heart.
Oh, no.
What does he mean, every year a new series concludes?
Yeah, wait, read that sentence
That's like
again?
the opposite problem that everyone else has.
Every year a game series I love is concluded,
Okay.
and I'm left with an empty hole in my heart. He needs to play some Assassin's Creed. He just-
It's gonna be full 7 times a year.
Sometimes I wish the game creators would make another sequel, or I think it's just best leaving it be. If you guys could make the game developers create another sequel, what series would it be?
Oh my God.
What series would you absolutely
I know what Marty's gonna
not
say.
want to see?
You think you know what I'm gonna say, but I got 2 things running through my head.
Lay it on me.
I want another Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
That's one of the things, but I want Rare to. I don't want it to be.
spiritual successor doesn't count.
That's exciting. But I miss those. I'm really dumb, but I like the bear that makes weird noises and the bird that yells at him. That I would like a Psychonauts 2.
And that's the one I was.
I would like a Psychonauts 2 a lot, and
You're gonna like
like Beyond Good and Evil.
gun to
Too much.
Tim Schafer's head.
Yeah. Oh, jeez,
not
I'm not gonna
leaving
put a
this
gun to his head.
He's a nice man.
Psychonauts 2.
He works so close. I can't do that.
He's just crying.
No, my pick is spoiled by our art behind us here. I would, if I could gun to Gabe Newell's head. Will you make Half-Life 3? God damn you.
I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
I don't think it's ever going to happen either. More and more I'm convinced we are never going to play another Half-Life.
I think it'll happen.
Gordon Freeman's just gonna be a character in Dota.
Oh, that's so sad.
No, the other one I would like is a proper sequel to the first Final Fantasy Tactics. We never got that.
Oh, nice.
They
Yeah.
had Final Fantasy like A2 on a Game Boy Advance. Final
Yeah,
Fantasy Tactics
wasn't
Advance, they
crazy
weren't
about
quite
those.
the same.
Yeah.
I want
see, I
Final
would love
Fantasy
that.
Tactics 2.
Would love that.
That's what I was gonna say. Is we get sequels to things, but then they're never. It's like the monkey paw curse, where like they fulfill your wish, but then they twist it around in some way that like you
I want a
didn't
sequel to
expect.
Fantasy Life. Well, here you go.
Yeah, and they made a sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics, and it was sort of so-so. And they made a sequel to Banjo-Kazooie, and it was kind of
Yeah.
so-so. So it's like
no, that's not always
was
how.
Chewie and then
That's
there
not
was-
always how
yeah.
it works. Like in my case right now, like you asked me that question, and like a few years ago, like I would have had 3 go-to answers. I want to see more XCOM. I want to see more Fallout. I want to see more Homeworld. And like they're all 3 of those are now basically active franchises. So like I have to go to Half-Life when you ask me that. Now I have to go to the cliche one.
we live in an era where, and it's awesome, but we live in an era where nothing dies anymore. Like even something that you thought was gone forever. Like if you thought adventure games are gone forever, they're back and actually like thriving now. And if you thought old school RPGs like Baldur's Gate were gone, we have Pillars of Eternity, and Torment is coming out and looks really great. And Pillars totally delivered. Like everyone's like, man, I don't know if they can pull it off, and they did. The game's excellent.
You know, talk about like space sims with Star Citizen and Elite Dangerous.
And so all this stuff and like 3D mascot platformers we thought were gone, and then a few have been kickstarted successfully, and there's a Banjo-Kazooie spiritual successor. So it's like, and Shovel Knight, brought back a genre that we thought was kind of gone. So
there are so many games.
yeah, I mean, it's awesome that we live in an era where these incredible AAA, Shadow of Mordor, Dragon Age Inquisition, Witcher experiences can exist alongside the stuff.
But if you could force a developer to make a sequel for you,
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably say I would want like a direct sequel to like Super Metroid.
yeah.
Or just a new Metroid game.
Or just
Well,
play,
yeah, but
or
like
just
a
play Axiom Verge.
Like, yeah, sure. An old school 2D Metroid.
Yeah. God, you know how gorgeous that would look.
Yeah, man. Well, I would still want it to be pixel art, I think, but
Then play Axiom Verge.
It's right there.
no, but it's not just Axiom Verge. Like Super Metroid has an atmosphere, and it does a lot of really smart environmental storytelling, and it does a lot of things that, even on a gameplay level, Axiom Verge is incredible, but Metroid is a smarter game in some other ways.
Yeah. I wonder what series he's talking about that go away or that die. Because I can't
conclude?
think of
Nothing concludes.
Because I mean, stuff concludes. Like Bioshock Infinite had its 2 pieces of DLC, and that concluded. But I'm like, there's no way we're not going to get a new Bioshock game at some point. Like
We're
that's
getting a
just
Bioshock.
going to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Nothing ends anymore. Like Sony, I think it's Sony Pictures formed a group that they're going to make a Ghostbusters cinematic universe.
Everything's going to get their own cinematic universe.
Yeah, everything's cinematic.
There's going to be a cinematic
now.
cinematic universe. Think about that.
Yeah. I'm sure someday in our lifetime there will be another Middle Earth movie.
Yeah, they're going to
Oh,
remake
yeah.
Lord of the Rings within our lifetime for sure.
That's why you just
Star Wars movie coming out every year. Like anything that you love is never going to die and go away. I'm sure they're figuring out some way to bring back like Firefly.
What about people?
Except for Half-Life.
Except for Half-Life. Doctor Who.
Dan, is there another game besides? Half-Life 2 you pick?
Like I said, like my wishes have already been largely fulfilled. I do want Half-Life, and I personally think that VR is what Valve has been waiting for, because like if you look at the last 2 Half-Life games, like the first one kind of revolutionized how stories are told. The second one revolutionized how levels are designed with physics puzzles.
Interesting.
I think Valve has been waiting for an opportunity to kind of revolutionize shooters again, and I have no doubt that they started and stopped Half-Life 3 multiple times. Just like, oh, we have some ideas, see if they work. They didn't end up working to their satisfaction. I think that when VR gets to a point where it's kind of established, I think they're going to come out with a Half-Life 3 that really shows everyone how it's done.
I hope you're right.
Half-Life 3D. Guys, I did it. I made the name.